It is the second podcast from yours truly, that dope hippie girl, and I got some shit to talk about. So let me give the disclaimer that this is a podcast by a black woman who loves cannabis, and I am the voice of all the black people in the cannabis community who have been shunned or deemed as criminals. You know, we don't get the same respect as the whites. You know, it's fucked up, but that's what things like this are for. The First Amendment allows us to speak our truths, and hopefully we will move beyond that. So we're going to talk about some strains today. We're going to talk about Jeff Sessions' bitch ass. Another disclaimer, I cuss a lot. I try to be nice and be positive and not say fucked up things about people, but Jeff Sessions can really just eat a dick. Like, he's really, like, I think he's even pissed off the white people this week. So, you know, it is what it is with him at this point. So first, let's jump into these strains. Anybody who knows me knows that I am a big Sour Diesel fan. That is my best friend. But again, in the black community, we don't always have the same resources as the white community, you know, and so a lot of black people just smoke weed. They don't know about different strains. They don't know the different benefits. We are not privy to the education that comes along with the white privilege, unfortunately. And so we have to go off on our own and do research, which is not the worst thing in the world. You should be doing your own research about things anyway. However, it's just not something that's talked about in our community. You know what I mean? Like, most of the time, from where I'm from, in the hood, most people don't even know that the weed has a name. They just like, oh, that loud, or oh, I got some fire. And they just know they smoking weed. And, you know, and unfortunately, because they don't know the different strains and their benefits, you have these people coming, the dealers, like, man, I can't sell this because the people didn't like it. They said it was garbage. And that's because they don't know the differences. They don't know the difference in a sativa to an indica to a hybrid. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk about 4 different strains. 2 sativas, 1 indica, and 1 hybrid that is a hybrid of an indica and a sativa. So we're going to jump off with my favorite, which is Sour Diesel. I personally think that Sour Diesel is my marijuana spirit animal. It basically embodies the euphoric feeling that I wish, if I were a marijuana strain, I would be Sour Diesel. It is great for headaches. It is a sativa, and so that fatigue that you feel sometimes, because Sour Diesel will give you energy and things like that, it's a good daytime weed. It's great for getting rid of headaches. I personally find that it is great for sex, and that is probably because of the energy and the euphoria that comes along with smoking Sour Diesel. I personally can fuck for hours when I smoke Sour Diesel. And like basically all weed, Sour Diesel is great for combating stress and depression. So we're going to move on to Kosher Kush. Kosher Kush is an indica. I personally like to smoke it at night, which most indicas are great nighttime weeds, because one of the main things that you'll get from an indica is that battling of insomnia. An indica will lay you down. And unfortunately, most people, especially in, the areas that are not educated about marijuana, they are used to having indicas. They're used to having that couch feeling. When I make my edibles, I personally tend to use indicas more than sativas, because people who do not smoke weed are the ones who buy edibles, and they're not familiar with the feeling. All they know is what they've been told on TV, which is that marijuana brings you down. It makes you lay around and it glues you to the couch. And an indica will definitely do that. Kosher Kush is one of those indicas that packs a wallop. And also, like most marijuana, Kosher Kush is great for a lack of appetite. I personally like to smoke it at night because I do suffer from insomnia. Insomniacs all over the world unite. I can't turn my brain off. I'm always up thinking. And Kosher Kush puts me right to sleep. If you are dieting, or if you're trying to eat better, and I know for a lot of people, The problem with losing weight is not lack of working out, but it is you're not eating properly. And most of the time when you're not eating, it's because you don't have an appetite. Get you some kosher kush in your life. And I'm telling you, your appetite will pick up significantly and you'll be able to eat the better things and you will drop weight. Don't take that as a medical consultation. I'm just saying kosher kush is the shit and it'll definitely give you an appetite. Moving on. Durban Poison. This is another sativa that I really, really like. Durban Poison gives me a buzz like you would not believe. It is a sativa. It is a great high. It will, man, you just gotta smoke it. But it does, like, sour diesel, it does give you energy. It is a great strain if you are trying to focus. I personally like to cook with Durban Poison because my wife has ADHD and she has trouble focusing and paying attention to very important things, and she has a very important job and focus is important. And the medicines that her doctor was putting her on were really fucking her up. And so I said, nah, we got to change this. And so cooking with it helps her. And with it being a sativa, she is able to work after she eats whatever I cook with it because she has that energy, she has that focus of the sativa, and she's able to push through. Durban Poison is also very good if you are experiencing any type of pain or nausea or fatigue. What people don't know about marijuana is that it has anti-inflammatory and muscle relaxing properties. So anytime that you are experiencing any kind of pain due to inflammation or anything like that, cannabis is your best friend. And Durban Poison is a great high. It's a really mellow buzz. It'll just, it's the bee's knees. So we're going to move on to our last but not least. Blue Dream is another one of my favorites. I do suffer from migraines, and I don't know if any of you have ever had a migraine, but just imagine having a headache for a week. That's what a migraine for an hour feels like. It feels like having a headache for a week. Now, Blue Dream is a hybrid. It is a mixture of haze, which is a sativa, and blueberry, which is an indica. And like I said, Blue Dream is great for getting rid of headaches or migraines or any kind of pain in general. And it, following with its true indica lineage, it's great for insomnia. So just imagine, you've had a long day at work, you're having trouble relaxing, you're trying to wind down, and you need to just mellow out and go to bed. Blue Dream is a great late evening, nighttime strain. It will definitely get rid of all your stress and your pressure from the day. It'll erase that headache and it'll lull you into a nice buzz for you to be able to sleep. And so the education about the strains, in my opinion, is extremely important because I personally, as of course being a hippie girl, don't like to put anything in my body that I don't know about. You read labels when you get food. Why wouldn't you read labels when you put marijuana in your body? And then not only that, but sometimes you get a feeling so great from a strain and you want to repeat it. But if you don't know what it was, you can't get that. And you spend a lot of time chasing that high that you don't know what you're looking for. And so, the benefits that you experience from the different strains. And don't get me wrong, I am always going to be a proponent for medical marijuana because I think that everything we need to heal ourselves is already here on this planet. And so that's why we need to be advocates for, the legalization, and not only that, but the law reform for cannabis, because we could be healing ourselves naturally instead of pumping our bodies full of hormones and chemicals that Big Pharma is trying to push on us. And that rolls me into Jeff Sessions' bitch ass. Jeff Sessions is a known racist motherfucker. And cannabis and racism have been going hand in hand for over a century at this point. Most people don't know that the reason marijuana is illegal in the United States is based on racism. There is a myth and a rumor that marijuana was illegal for so long because the United States was unaware of how to tax marijuana, which is absolutely untrue. If you can tax fucking water, you can tax marijuana. But the reality of the situation is that when Pancho Villa and his people were bringing that great, good, awesome marijuana over from Mexico into Texas, the affluent neighborhoods that they were posting up in was drawing a lot of Mexican and black traffic. And the affluent whites in that area were like, yeah, we don't want these motherfuckers in our neighborhood. We don't want these niggas and these spics in our neighborhood. How do we fix this? And so they got with the government because they were trying to figure out, how do we get this shit out of here? Now, they were purchasing the marijuana, of course, because it's fucking awesome. People of all colors love it. But they didn't want the blacks and the Mexicans in their neighborhoods. And so through a lot of legislation, this dude Anslinger decided that, you know what, we're gonna tax it. We're gonna put a tax bill in place to cover up the fact that this is really about racism. And so for over 100 years, marijuana has been illegal, not because they didn't know how to tax it, but because it was wrapped up in basically a law that prohibited blacks and Mexicans from entering these affluent white neighborhoods in Texas. And it was fucked up, but this is what is happening. Unfortunately, in 2018, we're still experiencing this. There are whites making billions of dollars off of cannabis, while there are blacks sitting in jail cells. There are farms and grow houses owned by whites, and the government and all of the, cannabis enthusiasts are applauding them and saying, oh my God, look what this housewife did. She was able to turn this, oh my goodness, into a home-based family business. And look at what she's doing. She's stimulating the economy and this, that, and the third. And meanwhile, there are blacks who have been attempting to do the same things that the whites have been doing. And they have been incarcerated and they have been fined and they've been punished, for a very... This has been going on for so long that it's almost like the norm. And so when people look at blacks, all they see is criminals when it comes to cannabis. Blacks are not being taken seriously when it comes to cannabis because we have been painted as criminals from day one. Unfortunately, and the sad part about it is not that the white community is more innovative than the black community is. It's that the support looks extremely different. And so the whites, they're able to be on the forefront and say and be out, basically they're out of the cannabis closet with their cannabis enthusiasm. As, it's okay. They have the complexion for the protection. White privilege will take you very far. Meanwhile, blacks are being arrested for having less than the decriminalized limit of cannabis on them. I know that in Maryland, the decriminalized amount is 10 grams. 10 grams ain't shit when you really smoke weed. It's nothing. All my real weed smokers know 10 grams is something you can kill in a fucking day. It's nothing. And so we have these people like Jeff Sessions, and let's be real about what he did, because a lot of times, like I said, the education is not there. So basically, Jeff Sessions has decided to rescind the federal protection. That's basically what it is. So President Obama put in place federal protection laws for legally operating cannabis businesses, meaning these people have the licensure, the permits, they are legal, they are legit, leave them the entire complete fuck alone. Jeff Sessions has decided, nah, they don't get federal protection from us. So the states have made this decision that they want to legalize it. So guess what? The federal government is not going to protect you guys anymore. If the feds want to come in and fuck with you, we can fuck with you, because this was a state decision, not the federal decision. So y'all don't get our protection no more. We going to fuck with you if we want to fuck with you. That's basically what rescinding it means. And unfortunately, it's wrapped up in racism. They're not looking at the numbers. If you just look at Colorado alone, the amount of money that Colorado has been able to generate and put back into the economy to fix schools, to renovate neighborhoods, to put back into different programs that benefit the youth, the homeless, healthcare, all of that. The numbers are astounding. The crime rate has significantly dropped. So many things have been impacted in a positive way in the state of Colorado because of the cannabis legalization. And the federal government, for whatever reasons, they are refusing to look at these numbers. And so there's this floating rumor again, that DUIs and things of that nature have increased while driving under the influence since marijuana has become legal. It's not false. Studies have been done to show that there has been no increase. There's been no decrease either, but there's been no change. So you can't say that marijuana is the root of these things. Marijuana is not like alcohol. Let's be real about this shit for a minute. When I'm high as fuck, I don't want to drive. If anything, I'm saying to somebody, yo, can you fucking drive me? Because, my nigga, I can't. I'm laid the fuck back. I'm relaxed. I'm chilling. I don't want to fucking drive. Let me call Uber. Let me call Lyft. Or let me give somebody my keys who hasn't been smoking or anything like that, because I'm in chill mode right now. You know what I mean? I'm not up to fucking driving. I just don't want to drive right now. And so for somebody who has never smoked marijuana to make that opinion a nationwide rumor is really fucked up. Alcohol gives you a false confidence. Yeah, I'm fine. I can do it. And people get in their cars and they fucking crash and kill people. There are no car accidents from marijuana. If anything, there are unsolicited traffic stops. Because you're so fucking baked, you'll just sit at a goddamn stop sign waiting for the shit to turn green. And it's not. But it's okay because you're chilling as opposed to actually being out there hurting somebody. And that, my friends, is the beauty of marijuana. And that's where we're going to end this. Marijuana is something that brings people together. It's a happy thing. It is not tearing people apart. It's not chock full of chemicals. It is not something that is extremely fucked up that people who don't smoke weed would lead you to believe. I challenge anybody who's listening to this podcast, listening to my voice, if you've never tried a cannabis product, be it an edible, a tincture, or just straight flower, concentrate, dab, do whatever, I am charging you to go out and experience cannabis. Pop your fucking weed cherry and see how much better your life will be after you smoke some fucking weed. I'm telling you. I am such a nice person when I'm high. When I'm not high, I'm pretty cool, but yeah, I'm a little bit of a bitch on wheels. But when you smoke weed and you get that shit in your lungs, man, you're a completely different person for the better. And that's why I'm going to leave my dope joints. This is that dope hippie girl. Follow me on Instagram at that dope hippie girl. I like to try a lot of products and post reviews about them. Maybe next podcast I will be posting some reviews. Maybe not. It's kind of hard for me because most people who vlog or blog about products, they say all good things. And I have found that not all these products are created the same. So I kind of don't want to shoot myself in the foot here and say some ill shit about a fucked up product and then be blackballed and I'm just starting out the gate. So we'll see what happens. But it's 420 somewhere all the time. So until next time, guys, stay dope and I'll see you on the other side.